Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to another episode of this Piscean Reports. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are having a great afternoon. For those of you new to my channel, welcome aboard. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I just want to say at this time, thank you to everybody who has ever tuned in, watched videos, to anybody who's ever supported me. Thank you so much. It really, for those who did support me, it meant a lot. But anyway, so I decided to make this video. Probably will make 2 videos and then I'm just done. I'm just gonna call it, because anyway, so I have been talking to you guys about the greater community spirituality. I talked to you guys a lot about my spirituality and my spiritual path and all the things that I have learned over the since I've started the channel and things like that, and I enjoyed sharing all of that with you guys. But it is just becoming more and more apparent that this is not something that is working for me. Not my spirituality, that works. It's just this whole thing. I originally started to share share with you my path, my experiences, and I want to say this. I read there's this book that at the end I'm going to let you guys know about it, and it is called The Greater Community Spirituality. It is the most amazing book. It is the most accurate book that I have ever read since starting my path. It has been 1000% spot on, like spot on. And the crazy part, I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, the crazy part is I read the book in the beginning, and they gave some warnings, things that you need to avoid, things you should avoid doing, and a lot of it was so amazing. And in my innocence in the beginning, I said, why wouldn't anyone want to know these things? I was very excited about my path, and I was very innocent, naive, whatever you name it. And so subsequently there have been some mistakes that were made, so I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna give you guys the things that they put in the book that absolutely must be avoided to spare you guys those of you who have legitimately had a spiritual awakening, and those of you who are following your path at this time. This is just going to be some golden advice that I want to leave with you guys, okay, before I just call it, okay? So I'm going to start with a section that was in the book. And let me just go ahead and read it to you guys, because it is absolute truth. But anyway, let me go ahead and just give you this, okay? It says, you will find as you proceed in the way of knowledge that you will value things that others do not value, okay? You see things that others do not see, and know things that others do not or will not know, okay? What seems obvious to you, those of you who are following your path, those of you who are having the awakening, okay? Like they said, you're going to see things and experience things that other people have not seen, and they have not experienced it, okay? And it says that what is going to seem obvious to you is not going to be obvious to them, okay? You will see both their gifts and their disabilities, and that is a blessing and a curse at the same time. You guys will find that out. You're going to find that out, that because now that you are awakened, there's something that just clicks inside you, and you have this uncanny ability to now see people, and I mean really see people. When I had my awakening, people that I assumed had love for me, I have found out later on, as time went on, spirit opened your eyes. The universe just opens your eyes, and they just force you. You don't have a choice. You just automatically see people. You really see, you see them wholly, purely, as they truly are. And as you become to see these people, you see their pluses, you see their good sides, and you absolutely will see their disabilities. And you'll see, wow, that person's a habitual liar, and this person really was using you, or this person is taking advantage of you. Like, and it's amazing, because these are people that you 9 times out of 10 may have spent your whole life around, and to then turn around and find out and see them, because once you have that awakening, it's just like a light bulb. It's something comes on inside you, and where you never saw these people before, everything becomes crystal clear, like crystal clear. It's crazy. But anyway, it says, you'll see both their gifts and their disabilities. They may see neither, so they don't know that you can see them. It says you will have higher standards for yourself, okay, but these standards will not be shared by other people. You will value a deeper experience of honesty, but will not be able to communicate this freely to other people. Okay, and all of that is absolute truth. Okay, and this unfortunately is going to be the thing that causes people to feel some type of way about you. Okay, because you just develop higher standards. It's just a part of the awakening process. All the things that you used to tolerate before, because you're now open, you're now awakened, you now see. I can't tell you how many. And it's everywhere. You'll see people at your job. You'll see situations. You'll see everything from this unbelievable perspective. Like the whole world, it's like being pulled out and now taking a step back, and you can now see this is how these people operate over here, and this is how these people do this, and because, like I said, because you have had that awakening, you have a higher understanding of things. You see things from that higher perspective. And because you do, and you choose to distance yourself, it just is an automatic process. You'll just begin to distance yourself. Once you see those who are for you and those who are against you, you just distance yourself. And they're going to look at it as you thinking you're better than them. You guys, I'm going to warn you, like, seriously. There are people who are going to think that you think you're stuck up, or you think you're better than other people, and it isn't anything that. Clearly, it was written down in a book, and this book was written, I think 1999 or something like that. It's over 25 years. It's about 25 years ago. Do you see what I'm saying? So it isn't like this is just me making up some shit. Okay, I read this and I see this and I have experienced this personally, and so I'm just giving this to you guys and saying, here's the truth. Get ready. Like, just look out. Okay, don't be surprised when these things happen. All right, and like I said, they're gonna think you're being stuck up. They're gonna think that you think you're better than them, and it isn't that. You just developed a higher standard. You know what you know what's real. You know what's real. You know what's not. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. You know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And just as a consequence of that, you end up distancing yourself from people who you now see, because you now see them, and they don't share the same values that you do. It's just a natural process. It's a natural process. So I'm just giving you guys that right up front. Okay. And it says, this will set you apart as it must. And at times you're going to feel lonely and isolated. However, you will find, even at the outset, that you have companions. Okay, they will share your difficulties with you, and you will share your difficulties with them, and you will both. You will share your difficulties with them. For you both experience difficulty being in the world. So you will then start to find people as you on the outset, there's another section that discusses that further. On the outset, you are going to feel some it depends on who you are. I was made very clear early on that I had this spiritual team. I had angels, I had guides, I had individuals on the other side, entities, angels, guides, the Most High, letting me know we're with you, like we're with you. So on the outset, and that's the other interesting thing, other people are going to look at you and they're going to accuse you of being a loner. They're going to say, you're in hermit mode. There's something wrong with you. This person is, why are they always by themselves? This is why nobody likes them. They think they're better than other people, and they think this is just the natural process. Okay, you are developing, you are growing, and you're recognizing and realizing that what was acceptable before is no longer, because you are now elevating. Okay, so just expect it, just know it. Okay. Let me see. Do I want to give you this real quick? Hang on. Let me pause it. Hang on. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Let me go ahead and go. I'm going to do this because this was important as well. It says, how can you be with these people? So how can you be with these people in a casual way with this growing awareness within yourself? You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like, it's not that you think you're better than anybody else. It's just, how can you be with people that you no longer share, share experiences with, share an opinion with, you're different. You are becoming a different person. And it's like I said, how can you be with you don't even want to be around these people anymore, and like I said, just get ready. Okay, get ready. It says you will not want to share their compromises, and you're going to see that there are people, all of the people that I just ended up distancing myself from are very used to, very comfortable with compromising their integrity, their name, their worth, their value. They get their value from the group, that group mentality. Okay, and you are now becoming someone who doesn't. You value who you are. You value who you are becoming. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, how can you now hang out with people who are comfortable with compromising their integrity when you see that? You see what I'm saying? And this is a natural process, because as you guys ascend, as you start becoming aware and start growing and start, in your knowledge, in your awareness, it's just, how do I say it? It's just like, as you just become aware, it's just natural. You're just not going to want to be with these people. It's like, how can you? You're now becoming that. So, but it's okay, because ultimately you will find those people. Yes, there's going to be these moments of solitude, but that's done by design. Once I separated myself from family and these energies, yes, I was by myself, but that's when the universe starts showing you things. So it's not, you're, like they said, you're not alone. You're not alone, and ultimately you will find people later on down the road who you resonate with, who share the same experiences that you experienced. Okay, but anyway, it says you will not want to be a part of their activities. All right, you're not going to want to share in their compromises. You're not going to want to be a part of their activities, whatever it is they used to do that is no longer resonating with who you are, because you are becoming I want to say a better person, because obviously if the Most High is pulling you away from certain energies, it's because you're becoming something better. You're becoming more. The universe, God is like, you're more. It's like trying to imagine ascended Master Jesus kicking it, you know what I mean, with people. You can't do that. He's separated. He was a separate person. He had the Most High, the guides, the angels, they separated him. He became, it's time for you to see who you are. It's time to see what you can do. It's time to see your gifts. And these people people naturally, as a consequence, became jealous, envious. You think you're better than us. Who do you think you are? The whole nine. And it's ridiculous. But anyway, it says you're not going to want to be a part of their activities, which only serve to avoid and deny the greater things you need to be recognized and discussed. Okay, something has changed at the very core of you in a way that cannot be described. I can't tell you how many times I was saying to people, something's happening. Like something's happening. You know, just expect it. Okay, you'll feel different. Like I said, you'll feel different. Your values are changing. You're becoming a different person. Your priorities are changing. Your emphasis in life is changing. Okay, this steers you away from people who are not experiencing this and towards those who are. Okay, so don't be upset when you move away. Don't be upset don't be surprised. We'll say this, don't be surprised when the envy and the jealousy and the comments and the negativity, because they're still in it. Okay, and you are not. Bottom line, you're not. Okay. It says it brings you specifically towards individuals who share your journey. Some of them will only go a short way with you, and others will travel for a lifetime. Okay, you will find yourself avoiding many people and situations. It's just a natural consequence. The places you used to hang, you don't want to hang no more. The people you used to see, you don't want to see no more. The things you used to do, you don't want to do no more. Okay. In fact, after a time, you will look at the general activities of most people with disinterest. It's not that you think you're better than anybody. It just is a natural consequence of your awakening. Okay, perhaps you will feel lonely and estranged, but we say congratulations. Congratulations. You are beginning to find your freedom. And that's what this is all about. Spirituality is a freedom. A freedom to be the truest version of yourself, a freedom to express, to experience all that the Most High, your guides, your angels want you to experience. You know, it's a congratulations, right? It's wonderful. Okay, you're beginning to find your freedom. You are starting to value something that is valuable. Okay, if this sets you apart, that's fine. You see? Okay, you'll need this freedom. You'll need this liberation. You need to be free of the bondage that other people place on themselves and inadvertently try to place upon you. Okay? It don't got nothing to do with you thinking you're better than anybody else. It's just a natural consequence. So expect it. Just expect to hear this from other people. Okay? But like they said, it's just a natural consequence. Don't, when you become that person, when you start distancing yourself from people and situations, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. That's a good thing. It's a blessing. Okay? Now, I wanted to go ahead after giving you guys that. Is there don't want to give you that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start giving you the things that I wrote down. They have a lot of things that you are going to avoid, and I wish I had listened the first time. So hopefully when you guys see this, you will listen, trust. Okay, everything this person has said happened, absolutely happened, and I wish I had listened before. I don't think I would be in as near as much of a crazy situation as I'm in right now. Okay, number one, it says avoid trying to define your path. Okay, a lot of people think that going in, okay, I've had an awakening, so that must mean I'm going to be this, or I'm going to be that, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. Don't define your path. Okay, just your path is going to well, I'll get into it later. We'll just start with that. Avoid trying to define your path. Okay, just forget it. All right, avoid trying to hold on to people. They just got through saying that. Let knowledge show you where you're supposed to be. Okay, so and when they say knowledge, let me also say this as well. Anytime they refer to knowledge in this, in the text, knowledge is the Most High. Okay, because and I tried to explain this to people when I kept telling you guys, you have to let go of everything that you've learned before. If you're doing spirituality the way I have seen it and read it and experienced it, you have to let go. The only way that you are going to advance on your spiritual path is by letting go of everything that you knew. Okay, and it says later on down here that you need to let go of certain ideologies as well. Okay, like I said, avoid trying to hold on to people. It's pointless. It's pointless. I remember doing that. Okay, I remember when the universe was telling me it's time for me to separate myself from a family member, and I kept saying, but this person, but this is someone, very important to me, very, very important to me. But at the same time, it was like I knew they were right. I knew they were right. But at the same time, I kept saying, but I was hoping that I could change that person. That somehow we could develop some kind of bond or something to where we could connect and move on together. But this person was absolutely determined not to understand me, not to listen to me, not to respect me, nothing. So when the universe was like, it's time to separate yourself, it's time to let go, do it. Okay, some people you're just not going to be able to hold on to, and some of these people can be your wife, your husband, some can be your children, it could be family, it could be it's anybody and everybody. Trust and believe it, and be open and understand that everything is going to be okay, because ultimately, they do say this as well, ultimately, initially, there may be that time when you need to separate yourself because someone doesn't respect you, who you are, what you stand for, what you're becoming. They're still in the world, essentially, and it's important that you understand that and just let them go, but let them go with love. And just, if they are meant to be a part of your world, they will come back later on in life after they have a greater understanding of who you are and what you're becoming and what you've seen, what you're experiencing. If they can come back and respect and understand, okay, I didn't know at the time, I didn't see it, I didn't understand it, because they're still there. They're not where you are. So it's okay to let them go. It doesn't matter who it is. Ultimately, if they're meant to be in your life, they will be later on down the road. Okay? Anyway, and like I said, let knowledge show you where you're supposed to be. Don't define your path. Let knowledge, it's like saying essentially, let the Most High show you where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go. Okay, people, like I said, people assume all those people, when I started my path and I started talking about when I was doing tarot and talking about these people and these energies that were stealing from me in the whole nine, and all of a sudden everybody wanted to do tarot. Okay, that was a part of my path. Jumping on a bandwagon, that you're not following your path. You're being, and anybody who I cannot stress this enough. Don't bandwagon. Don't jump on someone else's path. Okay? Because you don't know if you are genuinely spiritual or you're trying to understand it. Okay? Your path will be totally different. So it doesn't make any sense to say, oh, well, this person is doing this and they're getting success or they're getting popularity or they're being seen, so I'm going to do it because I want to be seen and I want to clout. You're doing it for clout. You're doing yourself a disservice. Okay? And jumping in someone else's spiritual path, you are ultimately betraying yourself. You're betraying your path, who you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go, what you came in this world to do. Okay? So let go of trying to jump on someone else's path or being a part of someone else's something. Okay? Avoid staying behind and trying to persuade people to your point of view or point of thinking. Okay, that was something that I ultimately ended up having to learn. Okay, And I think that that's very important for you guys. Anybody out there who's spiritual going forward, avoid trying to take people with you. Like I said, I gave that example. There were several people in my experience that I was hoping would eventually wake up and say, and like I said, come on, let's go. But you can't persuade anybody to follow your path. Everybody's got their own unique thing, okay? So avoid trying to get your boyfriend to come on board. If you had an awakening and they haven't, 9 times out of 10, they're no longer gonna be a part of your path. And be okay with that. Okay, don't try to convince them that this is what's happening to me. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm doing, because they can't understand it. Like it said in the reading previous or prior, that they can't understand. They don't know what you know. They haven't experienced what you are experiencing. You know what I'm saying? This is an angelic thing. This is a very beautiful, spiritual, amazing thing that is taking place in your life. And if you're still in the world, you just cannot comprehend it. They just can't. Okay? Now, avoid, let me see, and it's pretty much the same thing. Avoid staying behind, trying to persuade people. Don't try to stay back there in the past trying to get them to come on board, and then avoid trying to bring them with you, right? It says avoid trying to tie what you're trying to tell avoid what you're trying to tie what you're doing to something you already believe in. Okay, and that is why I was telling you guys, let go. They're saying, I told you, you've got to clear your mind, because what you're getting ready to really see the universe in your world, in your life. Okay, and what you used to believe is going to clash with it. It's just going to clash. You know, and you don't want to fall back on past. The whole point of having an awakening is to take you on an adventure of a lifetime, a journey of a lifetime. Why would you want to hang on to past belief systems? It's only going to hold you back. It's only going to hold you back. So that's why they say avoid trying to tie what you believe already into what's happening. You could do it. But like I said, and that was the mistake that I made. Another mistake that I made. I felt like the only way I could get you guys to understand is if I equate biblical with, the Bible and with what's happening now, to kind of get you guys to get it. But that's something that we have got to learn as spiritual people. Don't try to make people understand what you know. Don't try to make people understand what you're doing. Don't try to get them on board. Don't try to, open your mind, because what you're about to experience requires a clear, free mind, an empty cup, if you will, so that the universe can pour into you, so that you can see what they're wanting you to see, and showing you what they want to show you, and experience what they want you to experience, so that you can grow. So avoid letting past belief systems get in the way. It says just like you're going to be letting go of people, you've got to let go of old ideologies and old philosophies, because you're about to experience something so unbelievable. But anyway, the next one, avoid falling in love or the fantasy of love. Okay, so when they say avoid falling in love, they were referring to the romantic aspect of love. Okay, it's basically, they're saying when you equate falling in love, you're equating it to a feeling. You know what I mean? And it's usually a romantic feeling, like in the movies. Oh, this person makes me feel great, and I get the tingles, and I get this, and there's that, and the other thing. Because, like they said, eventually, and really being on your spiritual path, and then trying to fall in romantic love, it doesn't work, because ultimately, like they said, you will get older, you will change, both of you guys are going to change and grow and evolve, and that's usually where people end up breaking up, because now the lust has died down, and the feelings, the feels, and all that kind of stuff has died down, and what you're left with is this human in front of you, and vice versa. You're here, okay, and it never works because you're now realizing, boy, I was just in lust with that person. I wasn't in love. I was in love with the ideology of being with this person. Wow, this person is so cool. Oh my God, I love him. Oh my God, this person is so talented. I love them. Oh my God, they have great sex. I love them. You know what I mean? Eventually those things go away, those things die down, and you're left with a human being. Okay, and you don't want to destroy. It makes total sense. Avoid the fantasy of falling in love. They're not saying you can't fall in love, but they mean it in a more realistic sense, like finding someone. I tell you guys all the time, if when you you can't take how do I say that? I told you guys about this. It's like here you are, you're spiritual, and here you got somebody who isn't, and the universe is ready to show you things and bless you and give you. They're going to give you someone who you resonate with. They want to give you someone who you can respect and who respects you and all of that. And you've got someone the universe wants to give you that. You can't have your foot, and I told you guys this, if the universe is in the business of blessing you, and the universe is not going to bless you if you've got someone hanging on to you and they're just glomming onto you for your money, or they want to get with you for clout, or they want to get with you for prestige, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And they always end up showing you. The universe has a way of exposing these people. Ultimately, I will say that when you start on your path, they will eventually start exposing what they're ultimately there for. And like I said, because you have your awakening, you slowly start to see it. Just the act of being quiet and allowing these people to show who they really are is all you need. But understand that. Just be very conscious of falling, quote unquote, falling in love. You want to meet someone and connect with them on a deeper level. It should not be about, oh my God, they dress so great, they smell so good, they look so good, they have great sex, and there's this and there's that and the whole nine. You want someone that you connect with on a very deep level. Someone, you know what I mean? I could go into it, but you guys get it. You get it. I'm going to keep going, okay? Now, avoid trying to make knowledge what you want, okay? The Most High is knowledge, okay? That's what they say. Avoid trying to make knowledge what you want. You're essentially trying to make God. It's like they're trying to say, avoid making God what you want him to be. The Most High, what you want to be. The angels, you guys, you're energetic. Whoever these energetic beings are on the other side, avoid trying to make them what you want them to be, okay? They said this, instead of trying to make the universe, the Most High, however you want to say it, who you want them to be, instead say, show me what I need to know, and do not let me waste my life. And that makes so much more sense, instead of trying to make the universe what you want it to be. Okay, you are on a path. You have no idea where this path is going to lead you. It makes no sense to try to define it. It makes no sense to try to manipulate it, because that's not what this whole thing is about. Your spiritual walk, your spiritual path is about there's something you came here to do, and now it's time to find out, and then allow, like they said, show me what it is you want me to know, show me where you want me to go, show me what you want me to do, help me, I don't want to waste my life, help me, and then allow the universe to do what it's supposed to do what it's gonna do. Okay, does that make sense, you guys? It does to me. Hopefully you get it. Okay. Avoid thinking that your life is going to be grand. Yes, hold on a sec. I want to give you guys this. Okay. And I put that down. Oh, that's not it. It's right There. Okay. I wanted to give you guys this. It's very, very important. This is why I say, and it's one of the main reasons why I have not been on my channel. Okay. But anyway, let me go ahead and give it to you. It says, like they said, avoid thinking that your life is going to be some grand thing because you've had an awakening. It says your role in life will be simple and hidden in almost all cases. So I need you guys to know that just because you are spiritual, and they're going to say it later. Do I want to say that now, or I'll wait until I get to I'll probably say that later. Yeah, it's right there. Okay. So yeah. I'll just go ahead and say that. Your role in life is going to be simple and almost hidden. Nobody, and believe me when I tell you guys, do not, if you have had an awakening, don't put yourself out there. Don't put yourself out there. And I'm going to read this and tell you why, okay? It says, if you are to become known, in other words, if you do like I did and come out and just, hey, everybody, and I want to tell you about this and that and the third and the other thing. It says, and I put myself out there. I did innocently, but I did, okay? It says, if you become known, it is in a way a misfortune because the world will prey upon you, okay? And others will use you and abuse you. Right? They will infiltrate your life and attempt to take your gifts away from you. Literally everything that happened, that said, happened. Okay? I put myself out there. I told you guys about spirituality and amazingness and the wonderfulness, but I was trying to get you guys to know that there's something very beautiful and amazing happening. And instead of people taking it that way, like they said, they sought to take advantage, they sought to use, they sought to take my gifts, take what you know, we're going to use it, we're going to, what did they say, people preyed upon me, right? They'll prey upon you. Others will use you and abuse you. So nobody was actually trying to take in what I was saying about spirituality. They sought to try to manipulate spirituality, essentially, in the same way they manipulate the church. And it's unfortunate. And I really am so mad at myself for that. I feel like, anyway, they'll use and abuse you. They will infiltrate your life and attempt to take your gifts away from you. They will manipulate you. I've had that happen. They will malign you. I can't tell you, everybody who doesn't know, who hasn't said that, she's lying, she's making it up. Those things didn't happen. You people will become envious. Because like they said, when you distance yourself from people, when you make a conscious decision to elevate yourself in every way, it's not going to be celebrated. It's going to be met with envy and jealousy, users, abusers. People are, and if they can't use you and abuse you, they're going to turn around and try to malign and attack you. You're lying. Those things aren't happening. You're making it up. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? It's the whole nine. This is a warning. Okay? Most of you guys, if you have your awakening, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Keep all of the amazing things that you are going to learn and experience to yourself. Because like they said, if you, first of all, telling everybody is only going to do what they did. They tried to jump on it. Oh my God, they're getting that. I want in on that. I want to be a part of that. I want to, you know what I'm saying? They're going to attempt to use and abuse anything that you know or do or say or experience. So keep it to yourself. Just like they said, most people, very, very few people who have an awakening will be put in the public eye. And then when you are put in the public eye, be damn careful. Be careful. Okay? They will malign you. They will curse you. Some people will praise you. This is reality. This is the reality. The advice, the strongest advice I can give you guys is, if you have an awakening, don't say nothing. Don't tell anybody. Don't make a public spectacle of it, because you see what's happening out here. There are people, and I will get into that later. It will talk about it later. This is why only in rare cases will a man or woman of knowledge become a public figure, and they will have to face the tribulation that accompanies this privilege. So unless you are ready to be attacked and used and taken advantage of, and the whole nine, unless you're ready for that, keep your mouth shut. Okay. Now, the other thing here, it says avoid self-glorification, okay? And I put i.e. earth angels and chosen. Avoid self-glorification. Another thing that I had to learn. I will say this, I never ever called myself an earth angel. Other people, that is a moniker. Like I said, they romanticize spirituality, and they tagged you on that, and I said it in my private space, but I will say it publicly. Okay, just the term earth angel, be very careful with that, okay? Because earth is the first word. We are, all of us, those of you who are spiritual, you are a human being having a very human experience first and foremost. Okay, an angel, you're somebody who came to this planet and this time, in this moment, to make a difference. Okay, so people say earth angel, they're putting you on a pedestal that you don't need to be on. That pedestal should never be there. We are, all of us, if you want to use that term earth angel, understand the importance of earth before angel. You're a human being having a very human experience. You're not perfect, okay? You have feelings and wants and desires, and just like every other soul, you're no different. You are a human being first. Okay, you just happen to be a human being who is being called into this moment, into this time, to do something very important. Okay? And same thing with chosen. Be careful. It's yet another word. It's a glorification, and I had to learn that, use it, take it with a grain of salt, use it very carefully. Are you chosen? Yeah, to a degree, yes, you absolutely are. If you're being awakened in this time, in this moment, you absolutely are. However, like they said, avoid glorifying that. Don't put yourself on a pedestal. Don't walk around like you're better than everybody else, because, I feel like it's more like other people who will do it to you. If you put yourself out there, beware. There are other people who are all too ready to put you on that pedestal, and not recognizing you're a human being first. Okay? So, anyway. It says practice restraint. Your experience will demonstrate exactly what you're saying. Okay? For you will say things to people who cannot or will not receive them. I'm sitting up here sharing this with you guys right now. There are people out there who will not get it. They won't get it because it isn't happening to them. They won't understand it because it wasn't for them to understand. You had the awakening. You are experiencing this thing. So don't be surprised. That's what they said. Practice restraint. That was something that I learned just recently. In my naivete to get out there and say those things, I should have practiced that restraint. Pull back, okay? There's a lot of people out there, and I never in a million years did I think it would happen like it happened. To have people, jumping on a bandwagon and using spirituality to make money, making it, anyway, this is just my interpretation of spirituality. It is not only mine, it is written in book form. So for anybody out there who is all too ready to say she's lying, she's making it up, this and the other thing, this book was written 25 plus years ago. Okay? And everything that was written by this person who had this awakening is taking place in this moment, in this time. Whether you want to believe it or not is on you. And honestly, this message is only for anyone who's had an awakening. This is just my warning to those of you who have had an awakening. Okay, pay attention, look out. They're saying avoid doing all of these things that I essentially did. It's like saying avoid all the mistakes that I made. Okay? Now, it says that what it say? Okay, you will say things to people who are not ready, who cannot or will not receive them, and you'll share things. I'm sharing. You'll share things with people who are not meant who you're not even meant to communicate with. So as I was communicating to those in the spiritual community, these other people were not meant to be a part of this. They latched on. They made it. They took it, tried to manipulate and take advantage of this thing. Just like they said, there are people who don't understand it. They looked at it as, oh my God, here's an opportunity to make money, just like they do in the church. I'm going to create this church and I'm going to preach and holler and hoot and and try to get people to come up off their money, and then I'll see you next Sunday. You see what I'm saying? And they took this same mentality and they applied it in spirituality. And spirituality is not that genuine, real spirituality. This is why I am so profoundly uncomfortable with trying to use this as a money-making thing. This was never that. I was here to share information. I was here to share an experience, and it made me very uncomfortable to hear people say you're sitting on $1 million idea and you're sitting here and that's a money-making idea. It was never about money. Spirituality is not, it was never about money, ever. And it shouldn't be. But you got those people out there who absolutely will take it and use it. But anyway, it says avoid talking about spiritual ideas and great things with people who cannot receive them, and with people who you are not meant to communicate with. We did that. Okay, sorry. Gossip. Avoid gossip and discussing other people's lives. It maligns other people and you lose your energy and vitality. Okay. That's another reason why I stopped talking about other issues. As much as I want to, they were like, no, those who are spiritual. This I read further in a book, in this same book, that you should not participate in gossip. You should not participate. Don't talk about anything controversial. So even though there's so many things that I wanted to say to you guys, that like I said in the past, I spoke up and I spoke out. These things need to be said. This needs to be addressed. This needs to be looked at. But if you're spiritual and if I follow what I am seeing and reading and what I believe, then they're essentially saying you shouldn't have done that. Avoid controversial issues. And it's not your monkey, not your circus. What's it? Not your circus, not your monkeys. Just avoid it. Avoid gossiping. Okay, as much as I've seen things, and and it did bother me to have people sit up there and say we're going to cancel this person and cancel that. There's a lot of things that I absolutely want to talk about and discuss, but if I follow my spiritual beliefs, it's like no, don't. I know you want to, but don't. So this is another reason why I know everybody's like, you're wasting time and get on here and say stuff and do stuff. It's not about that. This isn't a machine. This isn't, I'm not supposed to come on and just regurgitate shit to people every day for the sake of doing it. The only time I was going to come on is if I had something very important that needed to be said. And that's the difference between someone who is genuinely following their path and other people who come on every day like it's a TV show. I'm going to come on, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and tune in tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and I'm going to say this, and, spiritual buzzword here, and this there, and that, and the other thing, because it's a difference. And like I said, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. My spirituality is teaching me something different, and this is why I have dialed it back. This is why I am pulling back from this, because everything they said was going to happen did happen, and I'm just warning you guys right now. Okay. Let me see. Let knowledge grow slowly within you guys. Okay. Let change come naturally. right? There's people who will try to tell you, it says right here, do not slow down, don't speed up. Don't say to yourself, this is what I was getting ready to tell you, this is what I'm talking about, and I wrote that down. It says, don't slow down, don't speed up. Don't say to yourself, well, I'm doing something spiritual now. I have become a spiritual person and a spiritual merchant or a spiritual teacher, someone who sells products. I've seen so many people selling products and services. I want to make a living out of this. And then it said after that, avoid that. This is why I don't come on. This is why I zipped it. This is why I stopped. Okay? Aside from the fact that everything I genuinely tried to do was thrown in my face. I'm making it up. I'm lying. I can't even get the people who genuinely were there in the beginning to confirm everything that I said, because, you know, they're in the world. They're a part. They would rather be liked by the group than stand alone and be able to stand aside someone and speak truth. That did happen. We did see this. We did experience that. That person did show up after I read this. You see what I'm saying? You know, I wasn't having an affair with this person. The person who could absolutely have stood next to me and said, she's absolutely right. I lied, I used, I abused, I manipulated, just like it said. There were people who would take advantage of you and do those things. That person will never come forward and stand up and speak truth. These people are more concerned with being liked and more concerned with being in the world. So there's nothing I can do to change any of that. Okay? But I will not, like they said, I'm not going to go on here and try to sell products. I'm not going to try to sell anybody on spirituality. This was just me sharing my experiences, which ultimately, like they said, from now on, anything you experience, keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself, because there are people out here who will take advantage of the blessings that are being placed on you, the gifts that were given to you. People will try to use and manipulate and whatever. Okay, I'm warning you guys. All right, do not get into romance about your spirituality. You don't even know what it is yet, and that's very true. This is why I was saying, you know, don't romanticize spirituality. In my innocence, I feel like on some level that I did do that. You know, this is amazing. This is wonderful, you guys. This happens and that happens, and there's this and there's that. And in my innocence of, like I said, I never in a million years did I think anyone would not believe me. Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just coming on sharing something that I had, and then it just blew up. And this is why they say don't romanticize spirituality. Don't romanticize your journey. Your journey is your journey. Keep it to yourself, because they're not going to understand it. They're not going to want to. Some people won't even try to understand it. They will, you know, like they said, some people are just determined not to understand. No matter how honest, no matter how truthful, no matter how forthright, no matter how, you know, all the integrity in the world, whatever, is if they're determined not to believe you and listen to you, it's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your time. Okay? All right. Now, avoid the need to understand things. Like they said, you don't even know what your path is about. All you know is that you had an awakening. I didn't know where it was going to take me. I didn't know what I was going to do. I don't know where I was going to go. No clue. Okay, like they said, you don't even know where your path is going to lead. Okay, so avoid the need to try to understand it. Okay, like they said, let your mind be free. Open your mind, right? Let things happen. Let things just be. Okay, let the puzzle of your it says let the puzzle of your life be in pieces. Do not fill it in with your own ideas of what you think it's going to be and what you think it's about to be and what you know what I mean. Like they said, just stay open. Stay open. Don't try to define your path. Don't try to make it go in a certain direction. Okay. Oh yeah, is this the last part? Nope. Okay, but it says you are being governed and guided by a greater power. Okay, a greater power within you. Hold on, I'll just start from the beginning. You are being governed and guided by a greater power within you now. A greater power that you are coming to know through experience. This is why I tell you guys, completely just let go of everything you thought you knew, and let your path is about experience. It's like climbing up a mountain. You can't just envision what it's gonna be. You have to take the path. You don't know where it's gonna lead. You've never been up this path before. You've never climbed this mountain before. So keep your mind open. Be open. Like they said, let the pieces come together. Let the universe draw up everything behind the scenes, behind drop the dots behind the scenes, and just follow where it's supposed to go. Don't try to define it. Don't say I'm spiritual, therefore I'm gonna do this. Okay. Another mistake I made. This is why you don't follow. This is why you don't try to destiny swap with someone else, because ultimately there were some spiritual mistakes that I made. And if you are trying to manipulate it, and you're trying to imitate me, and you're trying to be me, instead of saying that's amazing, I want to know, I told you guys you should, what happened to me was terrific, but everybody's path is individual. It's about what you need to learn, what you need to find. Don't try to make your path my path. Don't try to imitate me. Don't try to do what I do. Don't try to be what I am. Okay? Because my path is going to be different. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. It's foolish. And it's dangerous to try to take someone else's path. It's dangerous. Okay, like I said, I made a lot of mistakes, and jumping on something I'm doing, trying to imitate something I'm doing, you are essentially fucking yourself in the process. Instead of saying, oh my God, that's amazing, I want to know God, I want to follow my path, I want to, and getting with God, and getting with your guides, and getting with your angels, and allowing them to show you what you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do. And don't try to define it. Don't try to make money off of it. Don't try to use it, abuse it, manipulate it. Because your spirituality, your path can't be used. It can't be, I read that as well, you can't manipulate this. This is something you can't. You can try, and you'll only take yourself back to square one. Because trust and believe, the universe knows exactly where you're supposed to go, and they know exactly what you're supposed to do. Okay? So it's pointless to try to make it something. Just relax. Show up in the world. Okay? I took a step back. Like, have I got to that yet? Nope, right there. Okay. That's weird. I just said it, and here we go. Okay, here's that next thing to avoid. Okay, it says, let there be gaps in your understanding. Okay, then you will be honest with yourself and honest with others, and you will be a refreshing presence in the world. This is why when people were saying, you got to get out there, this is $1 million idea, you got to keep making videos, like, be more consistent, stop. People would watch my world, my personal life behind the scenes, and try to say, you need to do this, and you should do that, and you should be this, and you should be that. They want to try to manipulate and malign and try to guide. You see what I'm saying? Trying to make my spiritual path something that they think it should be, instead of letting me be what I'm supposed to be. Okay? I don't trust, and I'm going to tell you, don't trust anybody who just shows up every day and they got something to say. Oh my God, it's amazing. How do you have something to say every single day? How do you know where you're at? You need to, like they said, let there be gaps. This is what I did. I said things, I did things, and then I took a step back. And I took that time to listen to the universe. Where am I at on my path? How am I doing? And they showed me, you're effing up, fucking up, whatever. You're fucking up. Okay, this is where you made your mistakes. You showed people this. You told people that. And as a result, as a consequence, all of these things happened. Just like it said it would. Let there be gaps in your spiritual path. There are going to be times when the universe is going to want you to move. I've said this to you guys so many times, it's ridiculous. Okay? You can't. The universe is not going to spoon feed you lessons 24/7. Okay? You have to experience some things. Let the universe draw up, set up, present situations behind the scenes, and then, okay, now we need you to go. Okay? In the meantime, in the between time, just be present. In those gaps, just be present. Go to the store. Go do your shopping. Go wash your clothes. Go sweep. Go do something. Okay? And let the universe show you if you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing, or oops, you made a mistake. You weren't supposed to do this and you shouldn't have done that. And as a result, this is happening and then that's happening. This is how you learn. This is that life review. It's a review. You move and then you wait. And then they show you, did you do good? Did you do bad? Are you supposed to go left now or are you supposed to go right? You need those gaps in this, in your spiritual path, in your spiritual walk. So I would not trust anybody who just shows up in my face 24/7 every day. I just wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't, because of what I know on my path. Everybody's different, whatever. But like I said, this gentleman wrote this book, okay, and I read it and I discounted, I can't even say, I don't know if it was discounted. It was just like I read it and I was fascinated and amazed because everything that he said was happening, and I trust it, I believe it, and I wholeheartedly, I see, even without reading this book, before I even ever read the book, I said, is it just me? Am I the only person seeing this? Is this just happening to me? And then I find out through the grace of God, through synchronicity, that look, here's this book and I'm presenting it. And no, it's not you. There's a whole bunch of other people, but these people are very quiet. They're very smart. They're very intelligent. They know not to put themselves out there like that, because when you do, you're going to get used and abused and taken advantage of and manipulated and maligned. You're going to be met with envy and jealousy and anger and, who do they think they are? They think they're better than us. This, that. And all you are doing is being elevated by the Most High and following your path, your true north. Okay, and then it says, finally, because I'm ready, it's 102, finally, avoid someone else's spiritual journey. Don't try it says, don't dabble in different religions, because you're only a dabbler. You can't truly understand another person's religious beliefs unless you immerse yourself in it. Okay, so I definitely agree with that. Okay, it says you'd only be a dabbler. You cannot know a religion unless you immerse yourself in it. Okay, you can't dabble in spirituality. Okay, a lot of people think being spiritual just means, and I read this as well. You can't think that you're going to find the answers every time just by meditation. Meditation is there to help you to relax, to connect, and it's not going to show you where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. It's just a form of, okay, I'm relaxing, I'm doing this now, I'm doing that, okay? But I just remember thinking about that. I was like, man, because there's people who feel like, spirituality is basically just meditating, lighting candles, having crystals and cards, and that's it. And it's not that. It's those, everybody's path is different. I can't even say that that's it for everybody, because it's not. Not everybody who's having a spiritual experience is going to use cards. This is just how the universe connected with me, because they were able to show me something that was happening, But, and I will say this last little bit on this one. Do I want to say it on this one or the next one? Like I said, like they said, don't try to take somebody else's spiritual path. It's going to end in disaster. Okay? Anybody who is trying to be me is a fucking fool. Anybody who's trying to manipulate, who's trying to imitate, you're a fool. You're a fool. because you're trying to be somebody else instead of allowing the universe to show you who you are, what your path is, what you're meant to be. Anybody who tries to do something that somebody else is doing is a fool. Like, straight up. Just relax and let whatever you're supposed to be. Whatever you're supposed to do. And however they're communicating with you is how they're going to communicate with you. Okay, don't let my experiences assume that that's what you're supposed to have, and that's what it is. That's how they're doing it, and this, that, and the other thing. That's just what worked for me. Okay, and I'll just say the last little bit. Like I said, that's very important. Don't try to follow someone else's path. Let your true path happen. Let your true path be. Okay. And like I said, I'll probably maybe do one more video. I doubt it, seriously, because I did touch on that, the whole thing about dabbling, just pretending. Don't pretend to be spiritual. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. If you're not that, don't be it. Don't dabble in it. Don't try to act. Don't act spiritual. Because at the end of the day, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and the Most High at the end of the day knows your heart. He knows your soul. He knows you. He will know you're pretending. He will know you're being fake. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. Okay, so don't pretend to be spiritual. Those of you who have legitimately had an awakening, I encourage you to look at that book, Greater Community Spirituality. It's unbelievable, and I believe everything in it. Had I not witnessed and experienced everything, and this is somebody who wrote this 20 plus years ago, okay, and everything that this man experienced, everything that he has written has absolutely happened. I have absolutely experienced. I swear, I will swear on everything that's written in this book. It's 1000% truth. And I do believe with everything in me that there is a change that is taking place in this world right now. There's a point in the book where they discuss saying that those on the other side, those that in that greater community, have gifted us with certain technology to help us to advance as people. Look at the internet. This is the greatest gift that they could have given us. This is the greatest gift that they could have given that gentleman, imparted in his mind so that he can create it and unleash it in the world. And because he did that, we are now, as a result, coming closer to becoming one world. We already, on the internet, we legit are one world at this time. Like, bottom line, we're one world. And this person wrote this years ago and said that the internet wasn't there. I don't think it was there then. It was in its infancy still. I would imagine somewhere in there. It was certainly in the beginning stages, okay? And no one could have ever imagined that it would be what it is today. So this is one of those amazing gifts that the other side has given us. It is drawing us closer to becoming this one unified world. It is going to happen. I don't care whether you believe me or don't. I'm just sharing once again, and I probably shouldn't, because like they said, so maybe I should just shut it. But maybe I should just shut it. I'll keep it to myself, buy the book, read, do whatever, okay? But yeah, this is the messages that I have for you guys. I really hope that you guys take heed, okay? 98% of you, they said a very, very, very small percent will actually be in a public face. And in hindsight, I wish if they had asked me, do you want to be a public face or do you want to be a private? I said, I'll take private for 1,000. I don't want any of this. I would rather die than have to deal with any of what I'm having to deal with right now. But anyway, so I hope you guys take that advice. Go back, listen, jot down, buy the book, do whatever you need to do. But those of you who are spiritual, I hope you take heed take heed. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go. This is where I would normally say I see you guys next time on the next video, but I don't think I will be doing it just because I feel like it's pointless. It's pointless trying to explain something. Like they said, the people who are not willing to understand it, who don't want to understand it, trying to explain something to people who are still in the world. And it's really, this message isn't even for them, but they're tuning in nonetheless, which is weird. That's what I mean. That's that whole craziness. That's that, oh, okay, well, that's okay. Well, we're going to see if we can't manipulate that and use that. And like I said, it can't be. What's happening right now can't be manipulated. You can try, but it will not be manipulated. What is going to happen is going to happen. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to go. All right? It's been real. I love you guys. I guess I'll see you when I see you, I guess. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day. Did I want to say that? No, but it was a bummer, you know. I'll save it for the other video. What the hell? I'll save it for the other video. All right. It is what it is. It's been real. I'll talk to you guys. Bye.